Hey everybody, welcome to Room 320, Writing for All Experiences. My name is Chris King, the author of The Tale of Agoo Brunswick, Why Do You, and The Masquerade Man. Right now, as I mentioned before, my newest book is actually in the editing process, and so I'm hoping to have that out hopefully before Christmas. So that's super exciting. Um, I have a link down in the description below for my author page. I'll also link down my Facebook page so you can follow there, get updates, everything. I try and keep that relatively up to date for like book releases or any other events that I'm doing. So I've been really thinking about what I should be doing today, and it was brought up to me a few weeks ago. Oh, and just now came back to my memory. My wife, who is actually writing a book, asked me, so what? Asked me what is the best way to start your book. Now, there's several types of ways depending on the kind of writer you are and the type of book that you are writing. Like if it's a self-help book or motivational book, it's going to have a different and key point that you need to have in the intro. If people are going to watch or read it because of its content, like if it's saying learning to say no, or how to build a better financial future, or that's what they're looking for. So it can be pretty drab. I mean, people are going to read it because that's what they want. Now, when they're reading like a fantasy book, a romance book, something with a lot of action, there's a different key that you have to have your intro in. And it's all different depending on the person, like how you want your book to flow. But the general tips to like draw a reader in is, and I've kind of adapted this. If you can't grab somebody's attention and or pique their interest by the third page, something might not necessarily be right, or you need to change something about it. But for me, because that's how I work personally, if something doesn't grab my attention by page 3, I usually put the book down and never touch it again. And or you can even take that further and do, if it doesn't grab the person's attention by the end of the first page, then chances are they're going to put the book back. Because what a lot of people will do is they'll stand, and in the bookstore, I've seen this several times at Barnes & Noble, is I'll walk in and I'll be walking down the aisles headed to the sections that I'm headed for, and I'll just see people just like they're reading like the back, the first, second, and up to the third page, sometimes even more depending on if it's something that they're interested in. And um, so that's what you're looking for, is to grab their attention, pique their interest, keep their interest from page to page, make them want to continue reading. And another thing that to kind of keep in mind, and like as I said, like even just doing it at the end of the first page, it's when I was reading Twilight, or I didn't read Twilight all the way through. So a few years ago, oh, my mom and one of the girls that I was interested in suggested that I read Twilight. And so I was like, fine, I'll give it a try. I picked up the book, I read the first page, I put the book down, and I have not touched, or I have not opened the book since then. And the only reason why we have it is my wife. Or the only reason why I have it on my bookshelf now is because my wife I've liked it and wanted to have the entire series. So that's why we have it. But it just didn't appeal to me. There was nothing in there that really caught my eye, made me want to read more. I didn't really care what all the hype and everything was about. that people were going on. And I met Stephenie Meyers when she was in Forks doing a book signing. And I was there at the time visiting some family. And like she's a nice lady. I'm sure that her writing is phenomenal. There's some things that she does that I kind of keep track of and that I actually like, but Twilight was not one of them. Mainly because, or that I didn't read because it didn't catch my attention. And I know that I've said that over and over again, but it's something that you can't skimp out on. You want them to be fully invested in reading your book to find out from page 1 to the end. And if you have a second book in a series, you want them to be wondering, hey, what's the second, or what, like, they want to continue on, so they're going to read the second book from start to finish. If you have a third book, they're going to read the third book from start to finish, unless you're, unless they just continue to drop off like the second and third book are nowhere near the catcher that people want. Like for me, I read the Divergent series up until the last book because I'm sure like it was pretty good. At least what my wife and other people say that have read it all the way through. But what bugged me the most is that it was jumping to perspective because the entire time it's going from first person perspective, just following excuse me. Just following the main character, and then all of a sudden, the first few chapters of the fourth book or the last book, and it's like, okay, now you're following Trish. Now you're following. Now you're looking through the eyes of Four, then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that bugged the crap out of me. I mean, that can work, and to each their own. Sometimes it has to be done that way, but me personally, I did not like that, so I put the book down and I didn't continue reading it. So yeah. So I guess in the short term of what I'm saying is catch their attention, and it doesn't have to be like you catch their attention in the synopsis. That I'll cover that in another video, but definitely want to catch their interest, pique their interest. Make them fully invested in reading what you want. Whether it's something that they're searching for in the book that you point out in the beginning, like a good action book, like I've noticed a lot of time, is they'll start with a scene from like the middle of the book and then they'll kind of like it'll hit like a peak of that scene and then it'll backtrack to like the beginning. So now people are wondering what happened. How did it get to that point? Like, or where is it in the book? So, yeah, I guess my challenge to you is find some books that you like or are interested in, and just kind of see what they've done. Just you don't have to read past the first chapter. Just like in the first 1 to 3 to 5 pages. And then see what made them grab your attention. Maybe with the concept of the book. Maybe it brought an interesting idea. But just kind of take a look at it and see how you can use any of the information that you grabbed or that you've noticed and implement that in your own writing. It'll make your stories a lot better. But yeah, that's it for today. Just remember, just don't quit your writing. And if it only gets harder if you quit or if you slow down. But continue to go at a pace that you're comfortable with. And yeah, so as the previous videos, the subscribe button will be right down below if you want to subscribe. Turn the bell on if you want more notifications when I post a video. The new video is, or the old video is going to be down below, and when I get a new video, it is going to be up in that corner. So yeah, and if you want to share this with somebody, or like have any questions, leave a comment down below, or share with all your friends if they're interested. Yeah, see ya.